we're fighting against school closure in Chicago. I've been a parent at Paderewski for 9 years. We are on the list for closure. I am devastated. Everything that Barbara Byrne Bennett is offering the receiving schools, Paderewski already have. So to take that building, and it's a very well-kept campus, to take it and close it down, to send our children 8 more blocks south to different schools that are full Latino schools. They did not take the time to integrate the two communities together in order to get us to come together as one community. They want to segregate the African American children, put them on the north side of Cermak and the Latinos on the south side, and I think that is a racist move for Barbara Byrne Bennett and Robert Emanuel. They talk about the deficit, that it costs so much to run a school. They said Paderewski would take $6.8 million. We done had so many upgrades to Paderewski within the last 2 years that we are well equipped with brand new security cameras. We have brand new stair railing. We have a 21st century computer lab, 2 science labs. We have smart boards. We have air conditioners in 3 of the rooms. So all those petty things that she are offering these receiving schools, Paderewski already have. And I feel that it's wrong to shut our school down. Barbara Byrne Bennett and the CPS has came into the schools and destroyed it by telling these kids that they are closing. They have disrupted our school, and I think it's a shame that they are doing that to our children.
But tell me about the segregation. How does it work out that one group of children is going north of Cermak, one going south, and it just happened to be the racial groups?
Because they're going by addresses. People who live south of Cermak, they would be the ones that are allowed to attend the 2 receiving schools, which is Cardenas and Castellanos, and the children who stay north in that address area be the ones to go to Penn and Crown, which are 2 schools that are performing way under us. They also is unutilized. She talked about unutilized. If you look at the paper, you'll see that schools that were unutilized has been taken off the list.
But is there anything more that you want to say about the community and the students and the disruption that this is going to cause?
I've been in the community for 30+ years. I think it's a upcoming community. We have so many things built in that community so far, and I think it's a shame to try to move our children from that community into another segregated community where they will be disrupted by gangs, drug dealers. We have gotten that campus where it's to a safe haven place. Our children is safe. She talked about safe passage. Our children come to school every day, no mishaps, and I think they already have a safe passage.
Well, thank you so very much for talking with us.
Hi, my name is Valerie Leonard. I'm with the Lawndale Alliance, and we're focusing on all 5 schools in North Lawndale that are set to close. The first school is on the southern border. That's Paderewski School, and that school right now draws from the African American as well as the Latino community. Once the school closings go through, the African Americans on the north side of Cermak will be sent to schools that are not performing as well as Paderewski, and they'll be on the north side, and they won't have the opportunity to go to the schools that are better performing south of Cermak. The Latinos who generally live south of Cermak will in fact have a better opportunity. We want good opportunities for everyone, and they're telling us that these school closings and consolidations are actually going to be a better, going to end up a better option for our children, and that's not turning out to be true. Now, what's even more concerning to us is the remaining 4 schools in North Lawndale. As we look at those actions, every other action actually benefits AUSL. AUSL is the Academy for Urban School Leadership. AUSL was formerly run by David Vitale. He was their former chairman of the board. He is now the board president for CPS. Tim Cawley was the #2 person at CPS. He was a managing director at AUSL, so he's in a position where he can really make things happen from the inside. And I'm of the belief that just because you're paranoid doesn't mean nobody's following you, and I believe they're really following us in North Lawndale, particularly around Henson School, and even more so consolidating their influence around Douglas Park. So we'll look at Henson School. Henson School, which is on 13th and Springfield, they are set to be closed, and ostensibly, or what CPS is saying openly, is that they're going to send the children over to Hughes. Hughes is much further west, about a mile west for some people, even a mile and a half west for others, and there's gang territory, competing gang territory between Henson and the receiving school. But when we look closer at those boundaries, and I wish I had a picture here, you'll see that the lion's share, more than 50% of those new boundaries actually benefit, guess who? AUSL Herzl School. And we don't hear a peep about that in the mainstream media. We have to really look at those maps and analyze them. So publicly they're saying they're going to Hughes, but privately they're actually going to go to Herzl. And then when we look at what's going on around the park, I think that's really horrible. Bethune, which is slated to close and to fold into Gregory, is in an area just north of Roosevelt Road on Arlington. They're at AUSL school. They've been struggling, and we don't advocate, first of all, we don't advocate for closing any school. You know, a number of these schools have serious challenges that most schools don't have, but they're going to close that school before they finish that work. And when I say they, CPS is closing the school before AUSL gets to do the turnaround that they promised. So they're leaving those children high and dry. Supposedly they'll go to Gregory, which is again in a competing gang territory from the area from Bethune. But realistically, we're expecting a number of those Bethune children to fold into another AUSL school. Now, AUSL already controls Collins School, which is in the center of Douglas Park. When you look at what's going on, Polk is on the southwest corner, right across the street from the park. That is going to close, and their boundaries are going to be assumed by Johnson, which is already run by AUSL. They're going to leave an empty school building next to some $300,000 townhomes that were developed by Michael Scott, and then around the corner from houses that were over 100 years old in very good condition. Nobody signs up to buy a new house, especially with those types of investments, and you have an empty school building. And Hope School is in very good condition. So
what is Michael Scott's connection with AUSL, CPS, and downtown?
Okay, I can't speak for his connection with AUSL, but he is the former board president of CPS, and as you know, he died right after we lost our Olympic bid. So, but he was a developer. He was a prolific developer as well. And personally, I think it's a disservice to his memory to leave an empty school building next to houses he developed. You know, that's an affront to the whole community. We loved him dearly. And then when you look at the fact that they're going to take over Chalmers, which is on the northeast corner of the park. So to me, it seems as if they're trading assets in their portfolio. They're going to dump Bethune, take over Chalmers, and Chalmers is really on an upward tick. They don't need turning around. They're performing better than some of the quote-unquote turnaround schools. So I think they just want to improve their portfolio. I think they want to consolidate land holding around Douglas Park. So that's my conspiracy theory. Thank you.
David. Well, thanks for talking with us. Just tell me about the community in general, and what's the outlook for the community after all this shakes out if CPS gets its way?
I don't think anything good can really occur, for the community. They're saying that these consolidations are in our best interest, but it's never in anyone's best interest to have a bunch of empty school buildings. They're not telling us what the plans are for these buildings. Lawndale, as you may have heard, already has 1,700 vacant properties. We don't need to add 5 more vacant properties to that inventory. And even if those schools were filled, say, by charters or other schools, what you're in effect saying is those kids who already go to those schools are not worthy of all the millions of dollars that they've just poured into those schools for additional resources and capital improvements. They'll have to walk past their old school and let other people reap the benefits of work that was put in while they were there, which is, I think, a slap in the face.